guys, if you've been living under a rock and you have not been watching the most famous, the most successful, the most talented Sims YouTube channel ever, Simserra, you might not have seen that time that I gave the goths a completely normal, completely amazing, completely beautiful, totally not cursed makeover. So you might not know what's going on here. So basically, in that last time, I can't talk. In that last video, I talked about having considered kind of making that makeover a series, and so I have made it a series. It's a series that I like to call Personality Swap, but I also like to call it Parallel Worlds because I can't decide on a name because I'm just me. So this is my personality swapped version of the Pancakes. Now you might be wondering, Meg, Simserra, whatever your name is, right, whoever you are, strange lady, what are you doing with this speed build? What are you doing to poor Bub Pancakes? Well, I'm telling you what I'm doing to Bub Pancakes. I'm making him fucking hot, okay? And I'm sorry for swearing, but I have a bit of a potty mouth, okay? You can't blame me for that. That's just who I am. I'm trying to limit myself to one swear word per video, but you know, that's not going to fucking happen anytime soon. So yes, why have I made Bob hot? Well, that's because this is Parallel Worlds. This is Personality Swap. I am taking well-beloved families from The Sims 4, and I am making them complete opposites to each other. In this case, Bob and Eliza Pancakes, they were not hot, okay? They were this boring suburban couple who like hate each other's guts. They live in separate bedrooms. Their sense of interior decor is absolutely horrendous. And then in the future, for some reason, they decide to have a baby as if that's going to fix all their problems. Spoiler alert, it does never fix anyone's problems to have a baby. Case in point, me and what's happened to me, considering my parents divorced when I was 3 months old. But yeah, so I instead of making them this boring couple that hate each other, I have made the Pancakes this glamorous occult couple who are madly in love with each other. Bob is a spellcaster and Eliza is a new vampire. So I'm not sure whether she's been born to vampire parents or she's been recently turned. It doesn't really matter for the storyline. Either way, these guys are hot, they're occult, and they're madly in love with each other. And then I also brought in Iggy because I like me some Iggy, okay? It's not his fault that his parents are messed up, you know? He didn't choose to have a bland, loveless parenting couple, you know? In the base game, the Pancakes should have probably divorced a long time ago, but who am I to judge weird family dynamics? So yeah, I should say this, not every family in The Sims 4 is going to get a video. The goal is to kind of make a whole new save with personality swap families in every world as well. Every world, every pack, everyone's going to be personality swapped. But obviously that's like billions of different videos. I can't be asked to make so many videos. And to be honest, most families are completely boring. So I will upload them on the gallery when I do make them, but it's only going to be like the interesting families, like the Pancakeses and the Goths, and obviously the Land Grabs are also going to have their own video. Both versions of the Land Grab family. That's right. Johnny Zest, my boy, is a land grab through and through. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I love my boy Johnny, and he deserves to still be able to keep his family name, not be like Mr. Zest or whatever his name is. But yeah, anyway, you guys can actually join in as well on this whole personality swap thing. Obviously, you guys would be a part of the actual save, but if you want to do a personality swap version of a family in The Sims and upload it to the gallery under the hashtag Simserra personality swap, then I will check that tag all the time, and if I see it, I will put lots of little heart emojis probably in the comments. I'll be really excited. You know what, if I get many people, if I get a lot of people doing a personality swap build or family and put it up on the gallery, then I totally am going to probably make a video. Probably, you know, they're basically the same word, it doesn't matter. So you might have noticed something about my voice. You may have noticed that my voice is very hoarse at the moment, and that's because I have been ill a lot recently. Again, this winter has just been awful for me. I think my immune system's finally given up this year and has decided, you know what, you're going to be sick constantly. Surprisingly, I still have not managed to get COVID. My sister's managed to get COVID for 3 Decembers in a row now. And personally, I think she might be doing it on purpose so she doesn't have to work the Christmas shift at her job. But you know what, I can't really judge. And the reason why I haven't been uploading so much as well is because I have been trying to like actually only make videos I care about. Before I was making videos and I was just doing like random things to try and like meet a deadline, and that wasn't really working for me. It was kind of giving me a bit of anxiety as I was trying to get everything out. And so I've decided that I'm only actually going to make videos I care about. And at the moment, those aren't going to be a lot of gameplay videos. And that's not because I've fallen out of love in playing The Sims or whatever. It's just because I like doing things when they're new and fresh and recent, and we haven't really had any updates in a while. We are anticipating the infants update soon, so obviously I will be getting so many videos up for that because I want my babies to be able to crawl around. I'm sorry, so sue me. And then also Christmas has kind of been a bit of a stressful time for me. I like Christmas, don't get me wrong, but I don't really have kids. I have like nieces and nephews, but they all have their own moms, and my brother isn't around to like tie them together, so I don't really do much with them at Christmas, so I haven't had them to like get me excited, like the kids. And I personally, I'm a grown up now, and I'm starting to lose the magic of Christmas, and it's really sad. Hopefully next year my sister will have a child or something, and so I can find the love for Christmas again, but that's probably not happening anytime soon. Although she did get a boyfriend recently, and they are like completely in love, so maybe, you never know. I think that he's going to propose to her, but I'm probably wrong here, but it's a cute idea, right? And then also this Christmas, something really heartbreaking happened to me. I received the utmost betrayal from someone who I thought loved me and cared for me. And I've been trying hard to cope with that. My cat, my beloved cat Chicken, he peed on me. A lot. We were having snuggles under the covers. That's what I was trying to say. And I looked under the covers to see, hopefully, his little head poking up at me. And instead, I see his butt, and then he starts peeing. And so my cat betrayed me and peed on me, and so I've been trying to deal with that heartbreak. Obviously, that's a joke. The cat did pee on me, but I think it's just because he thinks that's how we bond, because he always watches me go to the toilet, because he's a fucking weirdo, my cat. But anyway, yeah, that was my weird, awkward attempt at a segue into, like, things that aren't about my channel. And I've been struggling to find topics for what to say. Actually, this is my second time trying to record for this video. And the last time I was just like all over the place because I didn't have any topics. But I've actually got a list in front of me of topics to talk about. Actually talking about how I have a list of topics to talk about is on that list. So that's weird. My next topic, how was your Christmas anyway? I was talking about how my Christmas was full of betrayal and sadness. But it hasn't been completely upsetting. It hasn't been completely dark and depressing. The funniest thing happened on Christmas morning. I got to see the look on my sister's face as my mom handed me my first present to open. And it was a box of light bulbs. And I got to see the look of sadness and confusion and horror on her face as she thought that my Christmas present was just a box of light bulbs. And that's really depressing for her, I guess. But she'll have to get over it, unfortunately. Yeah, what's going on with my video? It's kind of like paused again, and there we go. Anyway, you can't see it on your end, but everything's messing up on my video. It always does that when I try and change from like scene to scene. But anyway, I'm into the build now. Whatever. This is not what I'm talking about. That's later on in the list of topics to talk about. But in my mum's defense, sorry about the coughing there. In my mum's defense, the light bulbs were actually color changing light bulbs that connect to my Google Assistant, so I can tell my Google to change the colors of my light bulbs. The color match isn't exactly amazing, but it was like a cheap addition to like last minute presents, and I'm really happy with them because that means that my lights in my room aren't this really awful yellow color anymore. They're like actually white. And you know what, this would be a great time to show you and give you an example, but I am sat here in my pajamas while I'm recording this. I've decided for speed builds I'm not going to use a face cam anymore because I really can't be bothered to set it up, set my face up to look all nice and pretty, and then just do whatever. My speed builds are recorded just after I finished work, and you know what, yeah, my new job's going well anyway. I've finally finished training. I've actually been like speaking to people, and I got my first angry customer today. That was amazing. But I dealt with it, and by dealt with it I mean I passed it on to someone else because why not? So yeah, so I got to see my sister's sad little face as I unwrapped light bulbs. But speaking of my sister as well, she's got some amazing news. I don't know why I'm talking about her, but then again, I have nothing exciting going on in my life, so I talk vicariously through her. My sister has finally finished her first year of like redoing her A-levels and that, and she's actually starting university next year. She's doing a psychology course. Yeah, the course that everyone who goes to uni tends to do. And that makes me feel bad about myself because if you don't know, I am a university dropout. I went to uni for technically 4 years, right? I'm just really bad at doing coursework and I got really depressed at uni. Anyway, after 4 years of uni and technically only having like 2.5 years worth of degree, I decided I really could not be bothered with like trying to find like financial help for my last year. And so I was like, you know what, bugger it. I'm just going to quit and I'm going to do an office job, and that's what I'm doing now. But my sister's decided, you know what, instead of doing her job, she wants to go to uni. So good for her. But like, I don't like the concept of uni anymore. And this is probably just because I am a university dropout, so I'm a bit jaded. But like, all right. So I don't know about in other countries, but in England, when it comes to uni, they really push you going straight into uni at 18 years old. You should not be going into university at 18 years old. I'm sorry. You should be going out, getting life experience, actually figuring out what you want to do in life. Because when I was 18, all I wanted to do was be a screenwriter. So I started screenwriting at university. I spent thousands at uni studying to be a screenwriter. And then I fell out of love in screenwriting. And then that's what happens. Like, some people, they don't even have like a passion. They just think they need to go to university because like their colleges or their sixth form or their A-levels or whatever, or their high schools if you're in other countries, you know, they're like, you need to go to uni. Like, you're finishing school, you need to go straight into uni. And so you just do something you're like remotely good at. And so like you do something like forensic psychology or criminology or something like that. And that's what I see a lot of people doing. They do psychology or forensic psychology or criminology. They never use anything with those bloody degrees. Like, it's very rare that you actually become a forensic person at a police department, because honestly, that's gross. Why would you want to do that? So you learn that, and then you graduate with this random degree that you no longer want to do because you've done 3 years of studying at a university and you realize you hate it, right? And then like you still can use that degree to get a completely different career that isn't even related to like forensic psychology. Like, I don't know, you can use your degree to become a teacher in China, for example. You can use a degree to teach English in China for a year. And that's what I was going to do if I actually finished uni. I was going to teach English. But, you know, you can get, like, completely random jobs that, like, just work of graduate schemes. Which is fine, I guess. But you didn't need, like, the degree that you studied does not remotely qualify you to do this in any way. It doesn't actually help you with this. But they kind of make you do it anyway, and you can't get a job doing these things without, like, some kind of weird degree. And I just don't think that's right. Like, I think we need to bring back, like, trades. Like, obviously, we've still got, like, mechanics and that's like trades, which is fine. It's cute, it's fine, it's dandy or whatever. But they don't push you to do that. They're like, you know, they just talk about, oh, you need to like study something in university. You need to go to university to get a worthwhile career. But do you know how much plumbers make? A lot, especially now that there's like people being pushed to do uni, so there's not so many plumbers, you know. Plumbers earn a lot of money, and I think that's good on them. They deserve it. I mean, plumbing especially, gross, disgusting. You have to deal with human waste, and no one wants to deal with that. So they deserve to earn all the big bucks. And that's because plumbers are actually electricians, mechanics, anything like that. I think those are the actual geniuses in the world, right? They didn't bother to go to university. They just, you know, they started plumbing, and they have a job that they enjoy, that they can do, and then they can go home and they don't have to worry about it. But you know what, maybe sometimes at home, maybe a drain's blocked or something like that. And you know what, you don't have to call the plumber because you are a plumber, so you know everything that you need to do. Take my dad for example. He didn't go to university. Instead, my dad became a mechanic. Not just any mechanic though. He doesn't fix cars. No, my dad fixes cranes and heavy machinery, and he's super skilled at fixing cranes and heavy machinery. And he earns a decent amount of money doing that, right? And it's enough to afford this lovely house in a really expensive town with sea views if you know, stick your head out the window and crane your neck to try and find them. But you know, he earns a decent amount of money, and he doesn't have to spend any money on any kind of like house repairs. He fixes everything in the house himself to an amazingly high standard. He fixes his car. He fixes my stepsister's car. So, you know, He built his own shed, he built his own balcony. You know what? Everything looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think that's because he's autistic, personally. Like us autists, when we like discover we enjoy something, we like really enjoy it, especially if you're really good with your hands, like my dad is, then you know, that's really fulfilling. Personally, I'm not good with my hands, but I'm good at writing and I'm good at bullshitting. So here's what I'm doing right now, right? But yeah, so good for my dad. Sorry. But honestly, speaking of building, this is yet another awful segue. I am not good at segueing, as you can tell. I'm building a house right now, as you can see on the screen, and I am changing, well, I'm not building, I'm renovating a house, and I am changing the Pancakes house to be like this really gorgeous, ultra modern looking interior and exterior. And you know why? I was tempted to make it like all old fashioned, all gothic and that, because obviously they're in a cool family. Like Eliza's a vampire, you could reasonably assume that maybe Eliza's like an ancient vampire or something, and this is like a hereditary home. But I decided, actually, no, you know what? Just because they're a cult doesn't mean they can't be youthful and glamorous, right? I'm channeling Sims 3 late night vampire vibes, you know, not like really old fashioned, but like modern, you know. So they've got a modern house, and that's because I also really like designing modern interiors. A lot of it's black and white, and you can probably see it a lot in this build. You also probably saw it when I was like designing Eliza and that. I actually decided to go back and pop in pops of colour here and there, because I realised when I do modern, I get really caught up in doing like black and white. And black and white is nice. I love black and white, don't get me wrong, but pops of colours are something that I always forget to do, and so I just have to go back in and add them. And I'm just using a bit of a blue pop of colour in this house mostly, and maybe some yellows, because blue and yellow go really nice together. And I think it really works really well. And you know what? Before, this house was absolutely disgusting, right? Bob and Eliza, supposedly they're young adults, right? They're a young adult family, and somehow their house was like really ugly, really dated, antique, and all that. They've got things in weird places. It's just horrendous, right? And so I decided to change that, and I think that's because it's Eliza Pancake's personality shining through in the original house, right? And Eliza Pancake, she was really boring. She was really it looked like she was really into like, you know, gender roles, like she's the housewife, her husband's the one who goes out to work and that was reflected in the interior, which, you know, environmental storytelling, I love you and all that. But this Eliza isn't like that, okay? She's probably got like ancient vampire parents or something like that, but you know, when you're old and when you're an ancient vampire, you know, I figure that you kind of need to learn to be with the modern times more. And I like to think that I'm channeling Alice Cullen vibes, you know, when she always keeps herself updated on fashion despite being like over 100 years old or whatever. So that's kind of vibes I like to give my occult to light is, you know, they're ultra modern because they just follow like the style print for the times, and modern at the moment is very in fashion because obviously it's modern. So that's what she's doing. I know I've made this a family supernatural, but I'm not going to change a lot of families into being supernatural beings. I'll probably change a few. But this is just because I thought it really fit, because obviously they were just this bland suburban family. I thought, you know, being in a cult family just really fitted in like a personality parallel world swap. So I was also thinking of making Bob a werewolf in this, but I realised that Blob? What am I trying to say? I realised that werewolves are quite cliche now, like a werewolf vampire romance. And to be honest, I got really excited when werewolves came out, and I still think the werewolves pack is one of my favourite to date, especially like the fashion and the world and all that. But I'm kind of bored of werewolves now. And by kind of bored, I mean I'm really bored of werewolves. Because I want some kind of new supernatural or some kind of refresh of supernaturals. You know what I think need a refresh? Ghosts. Mostly I just want to be able to have baby ghosts again, ghost babies, because you can't do that. And you know what, ghosts are just annoying. They walk through walls, they destroy things, you know. I don't like ghosts in this game, but in other games you had to work to go to a graveyard and like seduce a ghost in the graveyard and have a baby, and that baby had a 50% chance of being born dead, which is, you know, dark, but you know what, I'm here for it. And you know what? Ghosts aren't as fun anymore, because obviously you get like the floating things inside a ghost to like tell you how they died, or like there's like they're dripping in that. But it was more obvious in like The Sims 3, because like the jelly bean ghost stuff, that was so fun. They had like the jelly bean like blue and purple colours in that. But obviously because of emotions in this game, ghosts just turn like the colour of their emotions, which is fine. I think that's really clever and a really good thing to do. But it just makes, you know, ghosts a bit boring, in my opinion, especially because I can't have ghost babies that like inherit their parents' cause of death and that. I just want to be able to have dead children, okay? That was going to be taken wildly out of context there, but you know, whatever. But I'm thinking, right, instead of now that werewolves is kind of boring, Once infants are like a proper thing and we actually get infants in the game, you know what I think we need? Actually, you know what I think would be amazing coming with infants? Fairies. All right, hear me out. What kind of connection, Meg, are you asking? You are asking, sorry. What kind of connection is there between fairies and infants? Well, actually, there's a lot of connection. Mostly because I think it would be really fun to have changelings in this game. If you somehow don't know what changelings are in like fae folklore, basically changeling is when a fairy comes and swaps an infant with an identical looking child that's actually a fae, and so the child's spirited away to the fae realm, and the baby fae is raised by humans, kind of like cuckoos. The birds, they sneak their eggs into other birds' nests, and the birds raise them as their own, but they're always like way too big to be like that bird, and so they're just eating all the food that they can gather, and they're just eating them out of house and home. So this poor little bird family is starving while this baby's eating loads, and it's just really annoying and colicky and all that. That's basically the same as changelings in mythology, and I think changelings would be a really fun addition. It could be a lot trait. It could kind of be like the vampiric ley line plot trait, where vampires could randomly be born like to just normal human parents. I think that would be a really cute idea to have like a fae lot trait, where your child could randomly be swapped with a failing and be a changeling. I just think that would be really cute, especially if like in the family bar it pops up like later on, and you could like see a clone of your sim walking around in the future, and that's like the original child with no memory, kind of like Bella Goth showing up in Strange Town. Is it Strange Town? Yeah, Strange Town. Like the baby has no memory of their original family, although the family ties are there. But it's, you're just walking around, mind your own business, and then like this clone of your sim shows up, and you're like, oh crap. And then like, I don't know, something happens, and like your child just turns out to be, a changeling, and like becomes a young adult and becomes a fairy or something. I don't know. I think that'd be really interesting, and that's because as you can tell, I'm more leaning in towards, if we get fairies in The Sims, I want like the creepy classic fairies, the evil fairies, the ones that create fairy circles to spirit you away to their realm. Like if you eat in their realm, you get trapped there forever. Maybe there'll be something similar to that, but obviously you don't want your Sims trapped in another realm. So maybe if you're eating like a fae realm in this game, your sim will like turn into a fae, or be like permanently changed, like transfigured their face or something. I don't know. That's kind of up to the Sims team to decide. But I just want creepy classic fairies in my game. And also, this is not completely based off that one time I did a poll on Twitter, and people told me that rather than vamp vibes, I give off fae vibes. Apparently I give off fairy vibes. I don't know why. Probably because I like a lot of pink and everything about me is pink. But that's probably, that's just hearsay. That's just speculation, right? And I have somehow run out of my list of things to talk about in this video. So this is going to be fun. I'm taking a drink of my, I am taking a drink of my sip now. You heard me. I talked correctly. I talked proper. Okay. So I guess I should be talking about something, but I have, again, like I said, run out of things to talk about, which is amazing. I love it when that happens. You know what? I really thought that rant about uni would go way longer than it did, but whatever. Oh gosh, I am poorly. So I have New Year's plans. Actually, that's a lie. I don't know why I said I have New Year's plans. I don't know why my brain just said I have New Year's plans. I was supposed to say I do not have New Year's plans. In fact, I have the opposite of New Year's plans. Actually, my plan for New Year's is to just sit at home, hiding in my room, all the windows, all the blinds shut, calming, soothing music on, hiding somewhere with my cat away from the fireworks because I have some weird PTSD thing. That means I don't like fireworks. Don't ask. It comes from the autism again. Everything's about autism with me. Anything goes wrong, blame it on the autism. Anything goes right, blame it on the autism. Autism's great, or not great, depending on how I'm feeling on that day. But yeah, so I guess speaking of PTSD, I have started therapy. Well, kind of. I've started cognitive behavioral therapy, and I've tried it before in the past. I tried it with CAMS, which is the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service in the UK. And when I was 16 for my depression. And it didn't work, but that's because I wasn't actually putting the effort into it. I didn't really think I needed to put the effort into it when I was younger, even though I thought to actually get that appointment. I'm just fixing a lot of things that teenage me just thought was useless. So I've started cognitive behavioral therapy, and it has actually been going amazing. I know, me actually like following therapy. I know I have been putting off like the serious chat I have to have with my mum about it, but that's neither here nor there. That's tomato, tomato, potato, potato, and all that kind of rubbish. I know I've talked about it a lot, but I am still planning like in the new year. Now I wanted it to be done by Christmas, but in the new year I am still planning like this massive refurb of my room as well. And I've started being a bit more serious and proactive and looking into like things to do for this, because I feel like new year, new me, new room, new me. And like if everything in my room changes, I'm gonna change. And I know it's like a toxic thing to like, that's my toxic trait, like changing something drastic to have a change in mind and mental aspects, but it works, right? I might just, or I could get a tattoo. That sometimes works on like a molecular level, molecular, is that the word? I don't know. If it's not a word, just tell me in the comments, I guess. Just make a comment anyway. You know what, make a comment right now if you're watching this. I command you in the name of our Lord and Saviour Chicken the Cat to comment something fun in the comment section down below. I'll even give you a prompt. My prompt is you know what? Tell me something about Disney. Just talk about Disney in the comment section down below. Lightning McQueen. That's my prompt. Lightning McQueen. And I'm not just saying that because I have a car bed on my screen right now. Just talk about Lightning McQueen. Just say Lightning McQueen in the comment section down below. I want you to talk about Lightning McQueen. I've never seen Cars, mind you, but that's whatever. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, you may as well like this video and subscribe to the channel. I figure if I'm commanding, more people will do it. You never know. I wanted to get to 500 subscribers by the new year. It is currently the 28th, so I don't think 500 subscribers is going to happen. I don't think I've even reached 300 yet, have I? I can't actually remember how many subs I have on my channel, which is wild. I have 269. Actually, I've changed my mind. Do not subscribe to the channel. I've changed my mind again. Please do subscribe to the channel, because you know it's going to be even more exciting than 269. 420,690 subscribers. Or 42,069. Yeah, that's my new goal, 42,069 subscribers, because I am a grown-up, and this is what grown-ups do. They talk about 420 and 69 all the time. Yay. But actually, if you did want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. This has been a way too long tangent on subscribing to the channel. So let's stop talking about that, because I'm starting to sound needy and desperate. I mean, I am needy and desperate. Actually, that was my nickname in secondary school, needy and desperate. But actually, it wasn't. My nickname in secondary school was Amy's sister, or that weirdo. But that's not as fun. That's more depressing than fun. Yay! God, what am I on? Honestly, I am on some weird shit right now. And again, that's like my 4th swear word today, maybe more. Comment in the comment section down below how many swear words I've said today. just spam my comments, please. Say something nice though. If you're too mean, I will just delete your comment. I'm sorry. I don't like to cry. I do cry a lot though. That's my thing. My therapist has been telling me that I need to start doing like going back onto hormonal medication again. But like, it's embarrassing when you like stop a medication like on your own. It's embarrassing to go back to your doctors like, well, actually a couple of years ago now, I was on medication, and I decided to stop of my own accord, but can I be back on that medication, please? Because it was actually doing good things for me. It's embarrassing to say that, but apparently it shouldn't be embarrassing. That's what the doctors are here for. But, the NHS is overrun by everything right now. I don't want to be an inconvenience, But that's my toxic trait. I don't want to be an inconvenience. I'm non-confrontational and all that kind of stuff. You know what? I'm being a bit depressing now. And that's probably because my music in the background has gotten depressing. That's right, I've told you before, But when I make videos, when I do speed builds and voiceovers, I listen to music in the background. Nothing with lyrics because that really distracts me, but I do listen to a lot of Undertale because the Undertale soundtrack is absolutely a banger. And I'm so excited for chapter 3 of Undertale to come out. Not Undertale, sorry, Deltarune. But I'm super excited for the next chapter of Deltarune to come out. I don't think there's any news on it, but I'm just excited, okay? Because I really like that game, especially the lore behind it. I still haven't finished it, but that's not the point. It's a bit too hard for me. I am not good at video games. Actually, I am bad at video games. I'm terrible at video games. I only play The Sims because, like, it doesn't actually require any dexterity or skill. I finished Pokemon recently, though, so I guess that's a game I finished, which is nice. And I've been playing the Telltale Batman series recently because I don't know if you know this about me. I like Batman. I'm a big Batman fan. Don't ask me why. I don't know why out of all of the superheroes in the world, he's the one who's resonated with me the most, or at least his family. But I guess it's because I just think he's funny. Because he's just like, you know, we get all these cinematic adaptations of Batman, and the portrayals of him is always as this like you know, this super serious superhero. I work alone, that kind of thing, you know. But that's not who Batman is. I want to get a live action Batman film where he's already got like 6 kids, and every time he sees some semblance of a black-haired, blue-eyed child, he's like, is this mine? Actually, you know what? I would kill for like for a 3-hour movie where Batman accidentally kidnaps Superman's son, thinking that he's his son because he's got black hair, blue eyes. I think that would be absolutely hilarious. Okay, move over Super Pets. Although I did watch a DC Super Pets film, and I have to say that was an amazing film. But anyway, at that weird topic, I'm going to end the video here because we are coming up to a close. Thank you guys so much for watching. This will be up on the gallery at some point when I can remember, because I'm really bad at putting things up in the gallery. But this will be up there at some point, I promise, if you want to do that. Again, I would appreciate it if you do like and subscribe to my channel. That would be the most amazing thing in the world. But other than that, I will have to say goodbye for now, my friends, my lovers, my compatriots. I don't know. I'm gonna say goodbye anyway. I love you all so much. Bye bye. Have a good one. Love you all. I don't know how to say goodbye, but bye.